on a quote speak by our as next episode. And today we'll be talking about रिश्ते, रिलेशंस, नाते एंड उनको कैसे मैनेज किया जाए। और आजकल आपको भी मालूम है कि बहुत सारे ऐसे रिश्ते हैं जो बनते बिगड़ते हैं, और ये तो प्रथा सदियों से चलती आ रही है। और इस बीच अगर आपको कोई ऐसा दोस्त मिले जो आपको समझाए कि रिश्तों की वैल्यू क्या है और उसको कैसे संभाल के रखना है और उसमें आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या होना चाहिए, सो बहुत अच्छा लगेगा अगर ऐसा कोई दोस्त आपके साथ खड़ा रहे जो आपको आपके जहनी तौर पे आपको आगे लेके जाए और आपको स्टेबलाइज करे। और ऐसे ही एक बहुत ही जाने माने रिलेशनशिप कोच आज हमारे साथ हैं, और मेरे साथ आप मिलके उनको वेलकम कीजिए। प्लीज वेलकम मिस स्मिता मित्तल। स्मिता जी, कैसे हैं आप?
बिल्कुल ठीक, थैंक यू सो मच।
ग्रेट। स्मिता जी, बिफोर वी गेट इनटू दोज रिलेशंस, मुझे पता है
यस।
आप तो दिन रात रिलेशनशिप्स और उनको उनकी संभावनाओं में जूझते हैं कि उनको आगे कैसे लेके जाएं और उसमें कैसे मिठास लाएं, कड़वाहट है तो उसको कैसे ठीक किया जाए वगैरह वगैरह। तो आपने ये जर्नी कब शुरू की? हाउ डिड यू स्टार्ट योर रिलेशनशिप जर्नी, और यही सब्जेक्ट क्यों चुना?
ये जर्नी इनफैक्ट फॉर्मलाइज होने से बहुत पहले शुरू हो गई थी।
जी।
फॉर्मली तो ये 5 साल पहले शुरू हुई, पर असलियत में ये बहुत पहले शुरू हो गई थी। मेरा माय करियर इज इन एजुकेशन. So as a teacher, I students would open up with me and they would trust me and they would share a lot of things, and I would wonder that why these students are sharing such personal things with me, and am I in the right position to give them the advice? And that is how it all started falling into this sphere specifically, into relationships, because they would share what is happening in their houses. uh, you know uh, some child abuse is taking place, how to handle that, and they would so that is how it started. And then I myself used to wonder that how come I have certain relationships in my life, what have I done to attract that kind of relationships in my life. So I used to wonder. For me, the most important thing is peace of mind. So I would
बिल्कुल।
do anything to maintain that peace and try to keep the balance. And that is what made me read a lot more, try new things, explore. And I have met from rishis, from sannyasis to the teachers, everyone, to understand
अच्छा।
this
बहुत
core
बढ़िया।
point.
हाँ, जी जी जी। सो रिलेशनशिप आपने जैसा बताया कि आपके स्कूल कॉलेजेस में जब आपके साथ स्टूडेंट्स आते होंगे, तो आजकल के स्टूडेंट्स और आपके टाइम के स्टूडेंट्स में आप क्या डिफरेंस देख रहे हैं? किस टाइप की रिलेशनशिप्स के ज्यादा केसेस हो सकते हैं, या जो आप कुछ कुछ चेंज आप सेंस कर रहे हो, या सब सेम ही है?
See, human nature is the same. Manifestation
हम्म।
has changed.
अच्छा।
The desire to be liked, to be loved, to be nurtured, to feel secure, safe, um, is the same. But how these desires manifest and what are the sources? Like when I was teaching, at that time the social media was not there. So friendships used to be real, genuine. Relationships were always in person, face to face. अब जो relationships प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, they are virtual as well. Social media generated problems are there now. पहले when these kids, when they are getting ready for their party, school party or prom, anything, they would check with their friends, am I looking good, is this dress good enough, and the friends will tell, and there would be 2, 3, 4, 5 closer group. But now the area has increased tremendously. They will post the photo on the social media. If they don't get enough likes, then uh, it would change their mindset. Their self-esteem will get impacted. Am I looking good enough? Is this dress appropriate enough? Should I do this or should I not do this? So all these things have added into the pressure in relationships, for especially for young children. Media bullying was
Social
not
media is
there.
actually giving media bullying, yeah, the trolling and
Yes,
bullying and
very
giving
true.
the immediate, even if you
And
don't know anybody, people are commenting on you.
right, uh,
Mm.
without knowing the background, without knowing anything, everybody feels that it is their right to comment. And more than that, the social media has is cutting off people emotionally. Very recently, I went in an IB school for a workshop. One workshop was with middle school students, and one workshop was with parents. And what I realized that um, students are not emotionally intelligent any longer. They are sitting in one room. You also must have noticed people are sitting in one room, group of seven, eight, nine people, but they're not talking to each other. They are into their mobiles. And sometimes parents
Yeah,
also will,
uh,
yeah, and
that happens
sometimes
in the family also when they are going out for a dinner. Also, still they are not talking over a dinner table. They are still fidgeting around on their mobiles and other
is
things.
still on their mobiles. And the I felt the limit is when mother wanted to call the children on dining table instead of calling them. Like, we used to just speak aloud and call the person by name.
Uh-huh.
It didn't happen. The mother messaged because she knew that whether the kids hear her voice or not, they will definitely be checking their phones. And everybody just came in.
Uh,
So these
Mothers are
are,
becoming more smart.
and this is, we take it lightly, we are smiling, but all these things are impacting the dynamics of relationships.
Actually, exactly. I completely agree. So what is the difference between a relationship coach and a therapist? What are the major two, three difference which you can indicate?
um, I can talk about myself only.
Hmm.
See, coaches not necessarily need to be clinical psychologists.
Right.
Therapist, the word you used is basically it belongs to the clinical psychologists. They talk about Freudian psychology, and they
Uh-huh.
prescribe drugs and things like that. Whereas coaches, counselors, we believe in. Uh, I believe that before we dive into, we reach out for medications and things like that. Let's use our mind to put things in right perspective. Unless until a person is going through some clinical problem, we should avoid taking medications because
Mhm.
every medicine has its side effect also. So the main difference I find that coaches like me, we try non-medical ways of
It's
handling
more
these
of a
situations.
dialogue
They can be like
than the
NLP.
clinical way of looking at it.
Pardon?
Yeah. It's more of a dialogue than a medical way of looking at it.
Right.
Is what you
It's more of a dialogue and introspection, diving deeper within you, tangling the knots within.
say. Hmm. Hmm.
Because ultimately, what happens if I have good relationship with myself? I love myself. I respect myself. I have proper self-esteem. I value myself. Then only I'll be able to value others, other people who are in my life.
So true. So you have
If
to
I don't,
be yourself perfect first. Yeah.
we nobody can be perfect, but yes, we should be more confident. We should be more accepting. So many people, when they come to me, the main thing is, the problem is, when we discuss it, when we dive deeper, They have not accepted themselves. They are accepting themselves on conditions. That is how their mind works. If I do this, I'll be good. If I don't do this, I'll be bad. All the time we can't be good.
Mhm.
And the same condition we apply on others also, because that is the way our mind works. So our condition, our love, our acceptance, our bonding is all conditional. You like my
So
post, I
that
will like.
that's right. So it is going to an emotional intelligence side. Is it related to
Yes.
that? How does it? So you have to be more you vigilant and more elevated in a terms of emotionally. You should be intellectual enough to
We,
understand what is going through you, and then you
no,
can introspect. Is it like
uh,
something of that sort?
it is, we need to be more aware of our emotions, definitely. And it is a proven fact that IQ develops till the age of 17, and then it plateaus and it remains there. Whereas emotional intelligence keeps on
Mhm.
growing throughout our lives, because it depends on our experience, day to day experience. IQ is a tool, and I do believe that IQ is a tool and emotional intelligence is the skill to use that tool.
Oh,
and
nice way to look at it. Mhm.
and when you are talking about that we should be more enlightened and all, there is nothing like that. The only thing is we should be more aware and accepting of our emotions,
Mhm.
to be aware of other people's emotion. If I respect my emotions, if I know, okay, if I am not in a good mood, I should stay back, step back, then I will be applying the same thing with other people also. I will give that person some space, that okay, right now for some reason the person is upset. Okay, I'll come back to you again after some time. So it
Yeah,
all,
that kind of awareness. So you shouldn't be
yes,
forcing
that's
yourself to somebody,
awareness.
but to make sure. Yeah, agreed,
Yeah,
agreed.
just
So that comes
awareness
to
and
the
mindfulness.
compatibility side of it. True. So that comes to the compatibility side of it. Now there is a lot of talking behind, are we compatible enough? People are going for micro relation, and then, they are staying together before marriage. People look at on, they have their own perspective, good, bad, ugly. And then comes the compatibility, and then, you get into a relationship longer term, and then again the compatibility comes in, not within your spouses or partners, but between the friends, relations, relatives, brother, sister, mother, in-laws. So that compatibility is also part of the relationship building. So what is your take on this?
Yes,
How does these things has to be managed for the people who are married young?
I believe people who marry young, there are less chances of divorce if they are sensible. And this, if they are sensible, this clause applies to everyone. Because when we marry young, uh, we are not yet so firmed up in our ways of doing things. We are developing. And then husband and wife develop together. I'm not
Correct.
talking about child marriages, but yes, marrying young, like we used to in our generation. When we used to marry young, there were lesser cases of divorces, because we used to grow together.
Correct.
But now
Correct. So
when
we
people
were
are,
we were developing together, growing together. We understood
yes,
life and
we were
people together.
exploring the world together
Mm-hmm.
and sharing our experiences and everything. Now what happens? Kids are marrying pretty at a very mature age. Nobody is marrying before 30, or around 30 they marry. By that time, the mind is set in their ways, opinions are formed, thinking patterns are there, behavioral patterns have developed. And then to adjust, accommodate, accept, and make a space for other person in your schedule, in your life, is becomes little tough because now people come with lot more expectations with each other. Like you mentioned, that people before marrying they live in, they to test their relationships. Do you think that it is a foolproof idea? People who are in love, live in relationships, they don't separate, or after having live in relationship they marry, they formalize their relationship, and then they don't divorce? They do. I have three,
I have
four
seen
cases.
the higher percentage of separations in live-ins or maybe after
Yes,
live-in marriage.
after,
Hmm.
exactly, I have four such couples with me. For the simple reason, I always tell them that marriage is a space where the mind goes, oh, now I have this person, and now I can be myself, I'm married. A girl who's so thin, slim, after within
Hmm.
3 years of marriage, expansion takes place. Horizontal
Hmm.
expansion, and she becomes nice and round. A boy who was so muscular and fit
Hmm.
develops a paunch and highly absolutely unkept look. Why? Because both of them are
Hmm.
feel very secure that now we can be ourselves, and in the process they hurt the person, they betray the person most whom they love most.
Correct.
And this is only the physical example I have given you, but there are so many other more personal things
I,
that they do.
true, true. So yeah, so that compatibility, you saying that if you are sensible enough, if sensible, you stressed on that. That sensibility, how to develop that sensibility to this generation or maybe the people who are lacking behind, or what do you suggest to them when you feel that there is a
I
lack of.
It's a very good question, Neeraj. What I suggest to everyone, not only in marriage but in every relationship, be it parent-child, be it friends, be it even uh,
Yeah,
formal colleagues, official colleagues, we
yeah,
need to be sensitive and aware of our relationship and the reason for being in that relationship, the connection,
connection, right.
the why we are
There
connected with
should
this
be a
person. Yeah,
purposeful relationship.
yeah, because see, why parent is connected with the child? Because parent is nurturing and child is being nurtured with certain responsibilities. As long as both the parties will be aware of this, they will not cross their boundaries. The child will not become extension of parents' personality. Parents should accept and will accept that okay, he is a child born in our house, but he has his own personality. We will nurture that personality. So that
So he
makes a
will
lot
grown
of
up his
difference.
own ways. He have his own IQ, EQ later. So we
Later in,
cannot be falsifying our thought
we,
process to them.
the child will never be a extension of our personality. Child will be making his own mistakes, her own mistakes. The world where we grew up and the way we explored is was very different than this world that child is growing up, exploring his this world and making his or her own mistakes. I'm not saying that we should leave the child, but we should instill good value system, good support system, and then this relationship will flourish. The same thing happens between siblings. Why we are connecting? It's a blood relationship. We have not developed this relationship, we have not procured, we are born into this relationship. So that is where this relationship will be. If we break this relationship, that hurt lingers longer. I have seen so many siblings when they grow up, maybe the property issue, maybe some other disagreement in the family, they part ways, but none of them are happy. They miss each other because
Yeah, somewhere
they,
back of their mind, there's that continuously thought is coming in.
yes,
You know, they're
they,
they're
and
depressed.
yeah, the ego comes in play. Then why should I go back? Why should I accept? That person made the mistake, that person hurt me, why should I go? So when we know that okay, we are born in these relationships, whatever happens, if you disagree, you say that okay, you are acting in a weird manner. I don't agree with you, but keep this issue aside. Let us be brothers. That is not the only issue in the life. There are so many um, issues
That's
on
the
which
top. Yeah,
siblings used to connect and they could talk. But then,
they're
you know,
actually
in
fighting because they are brothers and they are not realizing that they are brothers, and that is why we are fighting. So let's not fight. Let's put more emphasis on the brotherhood.
because the expectation that why this person is not understanding my right.
Mhm.
Elder brother is
So
unhappy, younger brother is not giving me respect, and a younger brother is unhappy, elder brother is using his authority all the time.
it's
So
more of
these small
taking for granted kind of situations where everybody is taking for granted.
yes,
Feel,
and when
you know,
the, the
go ahead.
moment they realize there is a peace in the family, in themselves. Oh yes, I can let go this issue, even if it's a property issue. The case is going on in the court. It doesn't mean that you can't sit and talk on the other issues. Let it be in the court, and that has brought so much of peace in both the families that they were surprised that why didn't they do it before. The thing that
Or maybe at that
changed
time
in
they
two
can
houses.
resolve the issues while they were in
Yes,
peace and having a talk. It may happen that they seriously resolve this kind of issues and
right.
then may not be going to the courts. So beautifully said. So, that has to be coming. So, what I'm understanding from this 20-25 minutes conversation, Smitaji, is something the relationship starts with you, in, by
Yes,
it's peace. So, if you're finding peace in whatever situation, you will be actually nurturing good relations. So,
yes,
that's the key point. That's the key point, that if
yes,
you are at peace, if whatever the issues are hundreds, we should not be focusing on issue. Focus on your mindset. Try to be at peace. Look at it differently and see if that something can be done. So beautifully you have put it, yes, Vitaji.
thank
Now,
you.
since we are limiting on time, I just wanted to take it to this. Um, then it comes to the professional side of it, the relationships. So there are boss and employee relation. Then uh, there is also nowadays the female bosses and male subordinates, which were a taboo earlier. Now people are
Yes,
accepting it. So such kind of situations are available, and then there are marriages happening in professional environment where you are working together, then you fall in love, and then you work. So you understand each other, uh, the professional life as well. But then at some point, your personal life is getting affected. So such cases you must be getting. So what is that one thing which you suggest to younger professionals, or the early age professionals who is getting into a relationships of anything, how they will be able to tack their professional and personal life without affecting relations?
if I can take the second part of the question first, the professionals
Please,
getting
please.
married
Yeah,
in the same office. The biggest problem such couples later on feel, initially it's all very good because they are coming together, going together, But sometimes it happens that one person rises and other person does not. And that is when it starts creating frictions. And this thing goes, it reaches their homes also. They carry this in their personal life also. Even if they're at the same level, the boss is liking one person's output better, that person is getting more appreciated. As long as it is husband, male ego takes it, it is normal. I work better. But if it happens to be the wife, the male ego is very fragile. It starts playing up.
Yeah.
How
Most
come
of the time.
this girl
Mhm.
is जो घर में रोटी सेकती है, she is doing
Uh,
that. And even if she doesn't
Better
seko
than
roti nowadays, the someone is there to do that. But still, that
yeah,
mindset is there. So that is where I
yeah.
always suggest to them that in office, instead of competing, cooperate, collaborate. Because why this friction happens? Because somewhere the ego comes into play and they say, okay, you have done this, I'll do it better. You have made this presentation, I'll do it better. But it will work in their favor if they start collaborating and start learning from each other's positive traits.
So I think it
And
starts with appreciating each other, and then this ego
yes,
and the competition
yeah,
gets lost. So
ego,
if you
let
appreciate it,
ego, yeah,
uh,
keep the ego
yeah,
aside and collaborate. To collaborate, you have to accept
right,
that yes, in this sphere, this person is better than me.
true.
So there is no harm in checking. So,
Yeah,
but
you need,
for
that's
this
again coming to the same on level of self awareness
acceptance,
and
self
acceptance.
awareness, and
Yes,
acceptance, keep away from
acceptance.
blame and
Yeah.
claim. Keep away from blame and claim.
Mhm.
And the same thing happens with bosses also. There are few people who are deliberately rude and they,
Deliberately
sorry,
rude.
yeah, and they come with the mindset of authoritarian mindset. They come with the authoritarian mindset, not authoritative mindsets, but authoritarian mindset. My way or highway.
Alpha
There,
boss.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
There are few bosses I have come across who were like that, but most of the people, and these people carry deep down, they carry a lot of anxiety, nervousness, and insecurity. That is why they don't want anyone to come very close to them so that nobody should know their insecurities.
They're tougher outside, but they are very, very,
Very
deep down.
vulnerable, very, yeah, very
Yeah.
vulnerable, very insecure within. They have reached where they have reached with sheer hard work and that tough exterior. But to maintain that tough exterior, what all sacrifices they have made, they know. And they are insecure because of that.
Protecting it to certain extent.
So when
Right.
we are when we are emotionally aware, then instead of patronizing them or rebuffing them or getting frightened, and there are some genuine people who really thrive on other people's uh, insecurities and fear. So instead of showing that fear, draw the boundaries very clearly. Draw your boundaries very clearly, and this I emphasize in every relationship. Be aware of your
So
boundary, be aware of other person's boundary, and lead a very happy life in that boundary.
that's the message I think is what you have really beautifully mentioned. So in this 30 minutes talk, what I have gained and the people who are watching this must be getting a sense or the sense of self-awareness keeping your mindset at peace, leave the ego aside and try to accommodate and collaborate, appreciate, and don't
Yes.
try to get into any kind of competence. And then you will see if you are at home or if you are at office with your spouses, with your friends, or any other relation, you will see a very beautiful life coming up. And people will come to you for
Yes.
advices instead.
Yes. Uh, and I also
Please,
believe that
please.
sorry, I also believe that don't be afraid of your negative emotions, because they can they can help us to grow if we keep them in check. Like if you're getting angry, see why are you getting angry? What is making you angry? If you're feeling nervous, when we are nervous, we are more alert and aware. So use your nervousness positively. Use your fear. If you are afraid, you would not like to make that mistake. So it will keep you, again, use these negative emotions to your advantage, instead of getting allow them to envelop you and engulf you.
What a beautiful thought. And with this, we are coming to an end to this podcast. I know we can go on and on for hours. And to do so, the last to be in touch with you to have a discussion one on one. What is the best mode of communication to reach out to you?
Sorry, I lost you, Neeraj. I didn't get it.
So I'm asking if somebody wants to be part of your discussion or somebody wants to have a session with you or want to have a one-on-one discussion, how will we able to communicate? Of course, I'll put the contact details, email under the podcast. So if
Yes.
you like to share your email ID or website or anything,
Yeah, I have email ID Smita Mittal 3030, Smita Mittal 30 at the rate gmail.com. My website is www.coachsmitamittal.in.
so now you know
And
how to communicate and contact Smita ji. Please rush to email IDs and websites, and I would suggest to set up an appointment and see how beautifully Smita ji can, guide you, train you, coach you, or maybe suggest you to certain things which you are currently facing on. I am 100% sure she has lot to be explored while you have a discussion. She is very, very professional, very experienced, very well accepted in society and this world. And I'm fortunate enough to working with him on certain projects and been communicating on all of these subjects every now and then. So it is my pleasure, and I'm sure you loved the podcast today while you were listening to Smita Mittal. And if in case you would like to have a chat with him, you can visit www.smitamittal.in and she will be part of your discussion. Thank you so much for this uh, wonderful episode of Post Speak by our Smita ji. And it was having you as a guest is always a pleasure uh, for DMR. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So with this, we are coming to an end, and please follow RDMR, the YouTube channel and other stuff which are already available online, and you